let's do this video. I'm gonna lose subscribers, but it's okay, because this is a video that I'm making out of love. And I'm guessing those of you guys who have stuck around since the beginning of the channel to now, you know my heart's in the right place with this video. Recently, I was part of an exchange on social media, and it led to me being rather frustrated with how the exchange went, because I was trying to get a point across, and the wall between me and this other person felt impossibly thick. And essentially what it was this person runs his business with a free shipping model. And at this point, we don't know how big his business is. We don't know how much he sells. We don't know what capacity he's got. All we know is that he runs free shipping and he seems to stand by it. Okay, free shipping is a legitimate model. And then there's this exchange that goes on between him and a potential buyer that he then shares with the rest of us. And it goes a bit like this. Buyer goes, is free shipping for everything? Yes, he replies. I'm interested in a few of your items. I'm wondering if you can do a discounted deal. Ask for a discount. Essentially what he's saying is, I feel like the postage is bundled into every single item, but if I buy all these items, can you combine and just cut me a bit of that postage back? And he replies, I don't do discounts. I price my items really well. But it doesn't quite answer the question though, because the buyer already has indicated they know that there's some profit being made on the shipping if he pays every single bit of postage. Not all the time this happens. I know that with some items, as you add items, the postage goes up quite linearly, such that it more or less works out to be the same. But that's not always the case. And I'm pretty sure this was not the case here, because it was media. And so with media, oftentimes the more you buy, the cost goes down until it becomes a pallet, then it becomes more again. What is it? Anyways, the person then goes, okay, then how much does it cost to ship per item? And at this point, this seller goes, well, it depends on the item, depends on the weight, depends on your location. And then he proceeds to ask, say like, hey, I actually want to buy these items and list them. Do me a deal. At this point, seller disengages, doesn't want to do anything anymore, proceeds to take it to social media to tell us how absurd. They're questioning the questioning that I'm profiting on postage, and I don't like that. It's an inappropriate question, it's an offensive question, it's insulting. And I went, somebody wants to give you money. They just want to know that they're getting a deal whilst giving you money. They're not trying to steal money from you. And then after that, there was another exchange with somebody else who went, I am not spending more than 5 minutes to deal with this kind of nonsense, especially when I don't know if it's going to be a sale or not. Initially, I thought, I'm not going to try and convince you whether it's going to be a sale or not. We will never know. But we must always pursue the line of inquiry whenever we are presented with someone who wants to give us money. This post was all sorts. This whole thing was all sorts of gold, right? Because oftentimes the longer a post goes for, and the more people talk, you get enough people chiming in that everything mirrors and triangulates, and you pretty much can work out what's actually going on, even though it's not said. And here's what happened. You had people chiming in going, I used to be like this, but now any sale that comes, I'll take. People saying market's not doing great, money is money. Or people saying, when I was younger, I thought that I could wait, but now, you know what? If money comes in, I'm taking it. You have people saying, we have pain in the butt customers from a long time ago that even today we still service, because you know what? Their money is as good as anyone else's money. You see the common thread? Money is money. If someone wants to give you money, take it. Like, take it. You're in business. Take the money. They're not asking you to drop your pants and do something inappropriate for the money. They're literally saying, I want to buy your thing. Can you make me just a little bit more worthwhile? Discounts are very common. This person then goes on, this seller goes on later in the comments going, I didn't say I wouldn't do a discount. Screenshot says otherwise. I just don't like the fact that they question my postage. Here's the thing with the free postage model. Yes, if someone buys multiple of your items without thinking further on the matter, it is within eBay policy for you to pocket the profit on that postage. If the buyer is willing to pay, the idea being here is, if the buyer is willing to pay the per unit price and they don't bat an eyelid, that means that they've agreed to pay whatever number you put up there as the free postage number, which, as we all know, includes the postage as well. So if you sell an item that's $20, there's profit in the item already, plus $10 postage. You sell 3 of them at $90, but only costs you $10 to ship. The other $20 in postage, that's profit. It's a very convenient profit. But you're not supposed to behave like you're entitled to it, because at the end of the day, that comes at the expense of the buyer. Literally. If a buyer realizes, hey, I don't really want to pay the extra postage that I know you're going to just pocket anyways, please help me to not do that. I want you to make your profit on the item. I'm not questioning that already. I just want to know, can I not pay the extra postage? At that point, they're not saying you should sell at a loss. They're not saying give me the item for free. Like people in Marketplace who say, can I have it for cheap and can you drive it to my house? And like there are some people, that's unreasonable. But this exchange was not. But this seller seemed to think that it was. And they were very firm on like, nope, you shouldn't have to question how much postage I charge, because it's like saying to me that I shouldn't be profiting on it. Well, you shouldn't, because they're not getting anything for it. Like they've called you out on it already. It's just give in. They still want to give you money. And you're not taking the money. And that blows my mind, because so many sellers would take that money or less, as long as it is profitable. This seller then goes on to talk about how, okay, wait, I have to point out, all those people commenting on how they would take the money, they should take the money, money is as good as anyone else's money, all those sellers commenting, very big sellers, $1 million sellers commenting. And I'm like, these are people who have been selling for longer than you, selling much more than you, and you're like, nah, not taking it. And then he proceeds to go and say, well, I'm successful as it is, and I have been selling for 3 years. Talking too much, that's the problem. The more you talk, people really see what's going on. It's like, well, I've been selling for a long time, and then it becomes I've been selling for 3 years, and I've got 50 grand of inventory. It's not a lot of inventory. So you've essentially gone, I'm small, I'm not going to take the advice of bigger, longer, more successful, more established sellers, and I'm going to use my lack of experience to loudly justify that I don't want money or I can afford not to take money. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to lose subscribers over this video, but I don't care. It's coming from a place of love. I want you to be as hungry for sales the way I am. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to last the distance. You're going to stay at bloody 50K of inventory and maybe a couple $1,000s of sales a month. Like, that's not what I want for you. I want you guys to get to like 6 figures, everything, and then literally wake up one morning and go, crap, we're doing $500 million in sales a year, and I have one helper and I need another space. Like, we want that kind of progress. I get that. Not everybody has that capacity or that space. But here's the thing. If you're the kind of person who loves being your own boss, and you started doing reselling not just for the money on the side, there are people who do it just for the extra money. I get that. But if you're the kind of person that wants to build something for yourself and you want, to be your own boss, to call the shots, not because you're proud of it, because you have ideas, because you have ways to do things that you feel would be better if you did it for yourself instead of someone else. You cannot entertain the thought of being I can afford to leave this sale because I'll get another one attitude. That's not an attitude of someone who makes a lot of money. That's an attitude of someone who is arrogant. It's an attitude of someone who is very small-minded. No. You need to be someone who recognizes that a sale is a sale. It's not personal. This person's trying to do a deal, and if the deal gets done, and even if they come back again and ask for that same deal, here's the thing. If you're sticking, dear seller, you know who you are. If you have this model that you say works, that means that so many of your sales already prove to you that this model works. That means that majority of your buyers don't question you. But if this one person who comes back every time, buys 5 items, 6 items, 7 items, and if you sell 100 items to this person with profit on the item already, and all they're saying is, I don't want to pay the profit, the postage profit too, why would you say no to that? It's money. Unless, of course, there is no profit in the item and your business is based on the profit of the postage. That's a shitty model to begin with. But unverifiable, we're not going to go down that route. So if there's profit on the item already and you're the free postage model, say yes to money. But more importantly, have an attitude that is, they're not trying to offend me. They're just trying to ask if they can get a deal. And if you can cut that deal, cut that deal. That's it. You know, here's the other thing. If you take a buyer's money, they don't have that money to spend with a competitor. There's a game of chess here when we do reselling. Buyers come to us to buy something. If we don't take their money, someone else will. At this point, I'm just like, dude, if I'm competing with you, I'm going to crush you. Because literally, the number of times buyers have come to my store and I bend over backwards to give them like a combined deal, a custom bundle, recognizing that I am investing into their satisfaction so that they will come back. People are very reasonable. I've said that many times on this channel. Buyers don't keep coming back to break your back and, and like make you twist. They don't do that. Most buyers will come. Oftentimes they say too much. People have this tendency, they say too much. They come, they go, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I have this? I was wondering if you can have, oh, actually, no, I already have that. Can I have this other thing? Sounds familiar? But if you invest and entertain, go, yep, it's okay. As a parent talks to a child, sometimes the best teachers do this, where a child goes, is actually going, I want all these things, I don't know how to say it in a particular order. And the teacher goes, that's okay, Tommy. Here's what I'm going to do for you. And they realign, and the child goes, cool, I like being here. With each subsequent conversation, the child talks less. So, these buyers who ask the world, can you make me a custom bundle? Can you combine the shipping? Can you show me more photos? The number of times where, and you get better at this the more you do it, because you want to take money as opposed to leave money on the table. Person who says, there was another person who was like, if it takes more than 5 minutes to deal with this kind of nonsense and I can't tell if it's going to be a sale or not, I'm not going to do it. Great, I'll have that buyer. I will put in the effort, and I have put in the effort to delist, bundle together. And many people said that too in the comments. They were like, just bundle it for them and give him a fair price. But no, this person's like, nah. They've asked too much. They're prying. It's like they're trying to figure out how much I'm actually making. So, if they figure it out, are they going to sell the same item? No. Are they going to deny you profit? No. You have an item that they want. Figure out how to sell it to them. Otherwise, someone like me and some of the other sellers in that thread will put in that effort, because it's not that much effort. It's actually not that much effort. Like, I think about how easy it is to do something custom for a buyer with the internet. Delisting, you go to all those listings, you copy the first image, delist. Re-upload, resell similar one listing, insert all the first photos that you re-downloaded, custom bundle for this seller's name. Never turns up on search. Your competitors don't know you've done it unless they bother to go through your 90-day solds, at which point you've done a big sale. It doesn't affect the item price because it doesn't show up on the individual item searches. So it's not like as if you tanked one item price. Like, let's say if you're selling item A at $20 and eventually you sold it at $15 because they bought 20 items, right? If you do a title that is a custom bundle, the name of that item doesn't actually show up. So therefore, future comping of the item, that $15 doesn't actually show up at all. There are smart ways to go, but it's so easy. You know what's hard? Hard is this: going to a fruit market and you're that farmer. Hi, I like a basket where I only want like 2 apples and 3 oranges and 4 lemons, and you have to like retrieve, cut open bags, open boxes to break that bulk back into a new bundle. That's not what's being asked of here. Doing it online is so easy. But the point being is, there's a very obvious blind spot that is, I can just make the money elsewhere. Does my head in, as you can tell. You're in business to make money. Make money. I want you to make money. All of you guys follow this channel. Make money. Not because you want fancy shit, not because you want to flex your 90-day totals, but because money lets you reload to grow your business. This is the thing we love and we're building. And that's the funny part, right? That's the irony of all this whole exchange. That's the most ironic part of this exchange. The fact that the people who don't agree with saying yes to money because of potentially not getting a sale, those are the same people who defend their business models. So you take pride in building this thing, but you're not willing to reload it because you think you can just reload it elsewhere. Like, a bullet's a bullet. You know what I mean? Like, money is money. That's the point. That's literally what everyone is trying to say without calling you. But not. They're more focused on buyers wasting my time. First of all, just like how I don't know it's gonna be a sale, neither do you. But have you bothered to find out? Like, you guys know I do combined postage a lot. Like, you guys know that I will actually message buyers and say, hey, you've bought one item, would you like to buy more? For some of these people who argued back with me, I'm like, you wouldn't even do that because to you, that's too much time. I've listed an item, take it or leave it. If it's accurately priced, you'll buy. Yeah, that happens in my business too. But I want more. Which is why in this situation, when the buyer messages the seller, which means the buyer came and said, I want more. How do we get there? And the seller's just like, how dare you ask me that? For fuck's sake. Okay, so in short, say yes to money, say yes to the sale, figure out how to get the deal done. I think Tekken Sports covers this as well. Like he said, whenever someone comes to see him, he makes sure that they leave with a deal on everything that they want and their wallets are empty. And he was like, I'll even pay for the gas for them to go home if I use up their gas money. I'm like, that's insane. But that's the point, right? You've made profit. And if you're not, and if you can't, and if you're buying badly, if you're buying not badly, suboptimally, such that you must have the profit from your shipping, buy better. Recognize that that's the problem. You shouldn't be being like stonewalling your buyers like that. They don't have to choose you. That's the other thing I think these sellers understand. They don't. I've said in summary a few times already. As you can tell, very passionate about this topic. Like, buyers don't have to choose you. It's the freaking internet. Like, I can choose to buy the things I want from a variety of different places. The fact that I bothered to come to your store, for whatever reason, there was probably one thing that hooked me in. Could be price, photo, whatever, right? Convenience, that's the one, right? People tend to think, oh yeah, my price was the thing that drew the person. But if everything else from that point on is hard, the price doesn't matter anymore. You think you're the only one who has the attitude that time is money? Buyers too. If you have an amazing price, but you make everything difficult from that point on, I'm adding it up in my head too as a buyer. So I'm sorry, it works both ways. And secondly, if you have a brilliant like listing template, right? Like you've got great photos, great description. You do it that you get that from two methods. The first one is you understand the buyer, which means that you're the kind of person that leans into your buyer to want to connect, make the deal happen. Or you blindly copy the template because someone on YouTube said it worked. And for you so far, it has, until the buyer has to deal with you and realize, crap, the person behind this template, just a pretender. So which one are you? But the third thing, and this is the blind side, it's the thing that blind spot. It's the fact that people can turn up at your store out of convenience, literally wander into your store. And if you think that they're there for reasons that you create, and then you justify this shitty attitude, don't get a sale out of it. The funniest thing about all this is that the people who say no to this money still go about their day thinking they're right. Nah. You cannot say I'm successful in my business and say no to money that wants to come to you. That's the summary. I'm going to leave it there. You cannot say you're successful or you want to be successful. Here's the test. If I told Jenny, by the way, babe, today someone came and offered me this much money for, X, Y, and Z. Did you take it? No. Why? Oh, because they wanted to know how much money I was making. Did you tell them? I didn't want to. How dare they? No. See how ridiculous that sounds? So yes, say yes to money, you'll be successful. Say no to money, you won't be successful. That's as simple as it gets. But man, that was a journey. Thanks for watching this video. I'm gonna go calm down now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.